So welcome for this lecture 25th on the theory of fundamental load compensation. If you remember last time we have established some conditions of the compensation in terms of the negative sequence cancellation and the power factor setting for the supply side. And based on that we got three conditions, if you remember. And these three conditions led to three equations in terms of the sequence component. Why we transform into sequence component? Because it was easy to set the conditions and formulate in terms of the actual load currents. And then once we set in terms of the sequence component, then we transform into again the actual currents which are shown here. So these are the actual currents, IBL, IAL, ICL. So rather than depending upon I0, I1, I2, we have transformed into IA, IB and IC. However, these terms are still in terms of the phasor quantities, as you can see from here. Okay, so they are in terms of the phasor quantities, hence it is not very implementable form, which means that if we want to implement in the real-time domain, then it is a problem. What we want is directly implementable form, where we can sense the parameter and substitute in these expressions and find out what is the value of susceptance of the compensator. Alright, so these equations are further simplified in form of more physical realizable form or more implementable form. So for that I mentioned there are two important techniques. The one is called the sampling technique and the another is called averaging techniques. As their name indicates, sampling means we have to sample the voltage and current quantities in general and then use the time domain expressions for the compensator values. And in averaging we use the averaging process. Okay, so let us first go for the sampling technique and then we will go for the averaging technique. So if you apply the sampling technique, then we have to understand certain things to find out the equivalent expressions. So first thing is about the IAL, how to express IAL. What we are looking for, can we express these quantities, okay, these quantities as the time expression. So we are looking for the expression in time domain for imaginary of IAL, imaginary of alpha IBL, imaginary of alpha square ICL. If we could do that, then our task is done. So the first thing is that we can always express these currents as the real part of that phasor plus J imaginary of that phasor. This is also called as ILAR. The real part is here and this is the real part and this is the X, the imaginary part. So any phasor can be resolved into its real component and its imaginary component. Fine, this is one thing. And also we can express any phasor using this expression. Look at very carefully. That is, the phasor can be written as root 2 times here, see my cursor, into mod of IL phasor into sine omega t plus angle of IAL. Okay, so basically I am here, angle of IAL. Am I correct? So this becomes the RMS value, and root 2 RMS means peak value, so the whole thing becomes a peak value actually. This whole thing is a peak value. I can call it IAM, maximum value of the A phase, into sine omega t, angle of IL, that is phi AL. Now we can write this in this form, that the imaginary of this whole thing can be written like this: imaginary of root 2 into IAL e to the power j omega t plus phi AL. Why it is so? Now you can see it here that this is bracket omega, that this whole thing, exponential thing, okay, this thing is nothing but sine cos omega t plus phi AL plus j sine omega t plus phi AL, and close this bracket, sine of this. So this is equivalent to this cos theta plus j sine theta. So once I say imaginary, it basically means sine. So imaginary of this whole, this is a magnitude, this is a magnitude, this is a magnitude, it's a scalar value, so it doesn't matter. So imaginary of the whole thing becomes the root 2 into IAL into sine omega t plus phi AL. Now we can expand this exponential function in two forms, j omega t separate and phi L or phi AL separate. Okay, so this is a separate term now here, and this is a separate term, and this is a separate term. Then what we will do, we will combine these two together. Okay, if we combine these two, it becomes the phasor IAL. So this is nothing but phasor IAL into e to the power j omega t. It is this term. Root 2 still is there, so root 2 into IAL into e to the power j omega t. Imaginary of whole thing. So finally we realize that IAL phasor into e to the power j omega t, alright, is nothing but the IALR, which is the real part, plus j IALX into e to the power j omega t. The whole thing bracket closed like this. So this has come here. So finally we have the imaginary of IAL plus JALX. So this is the one more bracket is required here actually, like this. Okay, and here this bracket required. So we now multiply IAL in form of this expression, and this is e to the power j omega t. Okay, if we multiply them, we will have four terms, this into this, then plus this into this, then this into this, plus this into this. So we have four terms. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and we collect the coefficients of real and imaginary coefficients. And then when I say imaginary of this, it basically means only this term, because this is only imaginary part. Okay, the rest one is real part. So once I say imaginary, then I will get this expression, IALR plus IALX into cos omega t into root 2. So therefore we could express IALT equal to root 2 into IALR sin omega t plus ILX cos omega t. What is ILAX? It is imaginary of IAL. and we want to find the value of imaginary of IAL in terms of the some real quantity like this. So what we will do? We will put some condition such that this is equal to 1, this is equal to 0. Okay, so we will say if this is equal to 0, this is equal to 1, then IALX, which is imaginary of IAL, must be equal to IAL by root 2. Okay, because this becomes 0 and this becomes ILAX, and ILAX is nothing but imaginary of IAL, and therefore the imaginary of IAL is equal to IAL by root 2. Okay, this is very important expression which is useful for this particular thing. So this thing is very important expression to understand the concept. Okay, so remember this whole thing. So conditions are this one: sin omega t must be equal to 0. Okay, this is first condition, and the second condition is cos omega t must be equal to 1. Basically it signifies that the omega t is equal to 0 or positive 0 crossing of phase A voltage. Earlier we assumed that these are the voltages BA, BB and BC, and these are expressed as root 2 into B sin omega t, root 2B into sin omega t minus 120 and root 2B into sin omega t plus 120. So when I say omega t is equal to 0, this implies omega t is equal to 0, which basically means BA equal to 0. So this will translate to condition that BA equal to 0. And omega t is equal to 1. Okay, signifies that slope of B is positive. How? We can see it here. If we differentiate BA with respect to time, we will get root 2 into B into omega into cos omega t. Am I clear? So cos omega t means that if the cos omega t is equal to 1, it means the slope is positive. So dB by dt is positive. Now these two conditions, that BA equal to 0 and the slope of BA is positive, indicates that it is the positive 0 crossing of phase A voltage. So this condition translates to the positive 0 crossing of the phase A voltage. It's very important. Positive 0 crossing of phase A voltage. You should add here 0. So whenever the phase A voltage goes through 0, just find out at that instant what is IAL. What is IAL at that instant? Divide by root 2 becomes the imaginary of IAL. So the imaginary of IAL is nothing but ILX, which is nothing but IAL by root 2 at positive 0 crossing of phase A voltage. So whenever the phase A voltage goes through positive 0 crossing, at that point find out the value of current IA, okay, and then divide by root 2. That's all, and that is equivalent to imaginary of, that is equal to imaginary of IAL. Interesting? Alright, then we will ask, the second term is imaginary of alpha I VL. Imaginary of alpha I VL. So how should I find out the imaginary of alpha I VL in terms of the real time domain quantity? We will follow same concept. First, we will express this term in terms of the actual B phase load current, okay, IBL. So as I said, IBL can be written as root 2 into imaginary of IBL e to the power j omega t. This I explained earlier. You can always write the IBL function of time as root 2 times into imaginary of IBL e to the power j omega t. Okay. Now we will do some trick here because we are looking for alpha IBL, so we will multiply by alpha here, alpha into IBL, and divide by alpha here, alpha minus 1, power minus 1. So alpha power minus 1 is combined with this term together, e to the power j omega t. Okay. Now if we combine these two together, then it becomes e to the power j omega t minus 120 degree, and this becomes alpha into IBL. Now again we are looking for imaginary of alpha IBL, so we will take this as a common, and this is alpha into IBL. This is in form of cos and sine, so cos omega t minus 120 degree plus j sine omega t minus 120 degree. Okay. So obviously the imaginary of alpha IBL can be expressed in form of IBLT by putting a condition that this is equal to 1 and this is equal to 0. If there is a instant such that sine omega t minus 120 degree is equal to 0 and cos omega t minus 120 degree is equal to 1, then this whole thing becomes 0 and this becomes imaginary of alpha BL into 1. This has become 1, and hence the imaginary of alpha IBL is equal to IBL time domain y root 2, this factor. So this y, this factor comes here and it's equal to this much. So this happens when cos omega t minus 120 degree is 1. So this is cos here, and sine omega t minus 120 degree is equal to 0. Okay, and which signifies in terms of the phase B voltage that at this instant the V is equal to 0, because BV is nothing but root 2 into B into sine omega t minus 120 degree. Okay, so this is equal to 0, and since cos omega t minus 120 degree is equal to 1, this means the slope of B phase voltage is positive. So this is actually positive zero crossing of phase B voltage. So therefore the imaginary of alpha IBL is equal to IBL by root 2 at instant when the phase B voltage is going through its positive zero crossing. Okay, so we could express the alpha IBL, imaginary of alpha IBL in terms of the real quantity, time domain quantity. In a similar fashion, we can also express the imaginary of alpha square ICL. So we are looking for now term imaginary of alpha square ICL. Same concept. First we will write ICL as a function of time, okay, and then we will express in terms of alpha square. So this is expression for alpha ICL equal to root 2 into imaginary of alpha CL into e to the power j omega t. Now we are looking for alpha square ICL, so we will multiply by this alpha square here and divide by alpha square, so therefore alpha power minus 2. This minus 2 is equivalent to 120 degree, So therefore we can combine these together, it becomes e to the power j omega t plus 120 degree, this term. And here it becomes imaginary of alpha square into ICL. Okay, again we will expand this term, so this becomes cos omega t plus 120 degree plus j sin omega t plus 120 degree. Alright, and it again means that the imaginary of alpha square ICL equal to ICL t y root 2 here for condition when this is equal to 1 and this is equal to 0. And again this signifies that BC is equal to 0 and BC dot, which is the slope of the C phase voltage, is greater than 0, means the positive zero crossing of the C phase voltage or phase C voltage. And therefore we can write the imaginary of alpha square ICL is equal to ICL by root 2 here, and at the instant when phase C voltage is going through its positive zero crossing. So you see that we could express these terms, imaginary of alpha AL, imaginary of alpha BL, imaginary of alpha square CL in terms of the time domain quantities IA, IB and IC. Okay. Now once we know these expressions, we can substitute back into the earlier expression. What is that? This was the original expression. Okay, we substituted these values now and we will get these expressions. So this becomes, for example, this becomes the alpha IAL by root 2 has come here. So root 2 has come here, so it becomes minus 1 by 3 root 2b. So this factor is b gamma AB equal to minus 1 by 3 root 2b. Root 2 has come from the substitution of this term. And IL at the positive zero crossing of phase A voltage plus IBL at positive zero crossing of phase B voltage minus ICL, because minus sign was there. So minus sign is already here. Okay. How will you remember these expressions? Is very simple trick. This side we have a minus 1 by 3b, and the first term is plain, that is imaginary of IL. The second term is alpha IBL. So alpha is associated with the phase V. It's like a 1 alpha alpha square. So 1 is associated with the A phase and alpha is associated with the V phase and alpha square is associated with the C phase. And sign circulates. The first is positive sign, minus sign. So it's minus alpha square. You can see minus imaginary of this. Minus has come here. Next time minus comes here. And next time minus comes here. So plus plus minus, minus plus plus, and plus plus minus, plus minus plus. Okay. And this term is constant, like imaginary of alpha square CL will remain imaginary of alpha square ICL. So this will not change. Similarly, this will not change. And sign will circulate from third to first to second term. This is how we can remember it if you want to memorize it. And then the same thing will reflect here. When we transform into real quantities, root 2 factor comes here. The rest thing is same. IL, IBL, ICL, minus sign will come here. Each currents are sampled at the respective phase positive zero crossings. This is A phase, this is B phase, this is C phase. Similarly, B gamma BC will be equal to same factor here. The minus sign will come here. Then same thing as this and same thing as this with plus sign. Okay, so this transform to this expression and this transform to this equation where B gamma CA is equal to minus 1 by 3 root TB, 3 root 2B and in bracket IAL minus IBL, the minus will come here now, and then plus ICL at the respective positive zero crossings of their voltages. Okay. Now you can see it here, why this is called sampling technique, because we have to sample the voltage and current quantities. So voltage is not sampled here, only current is sampled here. Okay. So you can see it here from this to this. These expressions form these based on the sampling technique. And you can see it here, they are very well in realizable form. What we have to do, just put three sensors for each phase load current, A phase, B phase, C phase, and sense the current at certain instant. And what are these instants? These are positive zero crossings of the phase A, phase B, phase C voltages. And at that instant, substitute this value in the expression, and finally you can find out the B gamma AB, B gamma BC, B gamma CA, which is our main target. Okay, I hope you got it. So this is very interesting to transform from the phasor values or imaginary of phasor values to the real time domain quantities. Now you may ask question, what is the transient, what is the settling time for this technique? Settling time for this technique will be 1 cycle, because this positive zero crossing over a cycle are being noticed and the currents are being sampled at those points, and this goes on happening at every positive zero crossing of the respective phase voltages. So it seems that in a one cycle, okay, one is just 120 degree, then 240 degree and so on, or minus 120 degree. So in a one cycle, these quantities are settled. So it seems that if there is a change in the B gamma AB, B gamma BC, B gamma CA, it will be able to be accommodated only after one cycle. Okay, so the minimum settling time for this compensator will be one cycle of the voltage or current signal. I hope it is clear. If any doubt, please note it down. I will discuss at the end of the class. In a similar fashion, there is another technique called averaging technique. Okay, in averaging technique, the concept is we average the real time domain quantity. And what are these real time domain quantities? Okay, these are mostly currents, load currents, or it could be the combination of voltage and currents. Alright, so let us start to understand this concept. So these expressions B gamma AB and B gamma BC and B gamma CA we have already developed in terms of the IEL, IBL, ICL, just I have described. Now we will transform into the averaging technique, using the averaging technique in terms of the real time domain quantities. So again, to do that, we need to understand certain interesting things here. The first thing is that this property is useful for this transformation. This property says that imaginary of B into I phasor, any two phasor if you multiply and take imaginary of these two phasors, it is equal to minus of imaginary of B into I into the whole thing conjugate. Okay, so this is the BI here, multiply BI phasors and conjugate of this and take imaginary of this and put minus sign here, then it is equal to imaginary of B into I. You can take any two E and B complex numbers, you can prove that. It's not very difficult. Okay, it's very straightforward property of the phasors. Now if I know this, then we can use this property in the expressions of the compensator susceptances. So first let us take B gamma AB. So B gamma AB is minus 3B square. I will divide by B and multiply by B. Okay, here you can say multiply by b here, divide in the denominator, and also multiply in the numerator. So b will come here. Now bj is scalar, so b can come inside. Am I correct? So what is finally getting transformed is this, that 1 by minus 1 by 3b square after multiplication in the denominator, and b will come inside here. Similarly, alpha was already here, alpha bl, so b will come extra, and alpha square was here, b will come extra. So scalar won't affect the property of imaginary. Okay. Here in this particular case, we have taken phase A as a reference voltage, therefore BA bar or BA phasor equal to B angle of 0 equal to B. So they all three are same. Is that fine? Simply multiply by B in the numerator and the denominator and take B inside. We can take B inside because Bj is scalar. Now, after that, we use the property of imaginary of b into I equal to minus of imaginary of b into I conjugate. So I will transform this b into ba. Okay, so b is same as ba. You can see from here. So this becomes ba, this becomes ba, this becomes ba. Alpha square is already there, so alpha square into ba, alpha into bb. This is only ba. Now I will use the property of conjugate. So I will put conjugate here and put minus sign here. So minus minus become plus here. Okay, because imaginary of b into I is same as imaginary of ba into ia. So imaginary of ba into ia equal to minus of imaginary of ba into ia, the whole thing conjugate. So whole thing conjugate becomes this. What is that? BA conjugate into IA conjugate or IL conjugate. Now BA conjugate is same as BA because this is reference phasor. So this is BA conjugate also is same as B, angle of 0 is same as B. So BA conjugate is same as BA. Therefore the BA conjugate becomes BA here, and this is IAL. Now come here, the second term. In the second term we have a alpha into BA. So alpha into BA and IBL whole thing conjugate, which means alpha conjugate, first thing, BA conjugate and IBL conjugate. Alpha conjugate is same as alpha square. Okay, and BA conjugate is same as BA. So alpha square BA. What is alpha square BA? Is nothing but BA angle of minus 120 degree. And what is that? It is BB. So this whole term becomes BB. Okay, so this is BB here. BB into IBL conjugate. Imaginary of BB into IBL conjugate. Minus sign will come here, so minus minus become plus here. Third term in a similar way can be simplified to imaginary of BC into ICL conjugate. How? Because this is alpha square here. Okay, so alpha square into BA into ICL conjugate, which becomes alpha square conjugate. Alpha square conjugate is same as alpha, and BA conjugate is same as BA. So alpha into BA is nothing but BC, and hence this expression becomes BC into ICL conjugate. Okay, so finally we get the first term, that B gamma AV is equal to 1 by 3B square into imaginary of BA into IAL conjugate plus imaginary of BB into IBL conjugate minus imaginary of BC into ICL conjugate. Okay, now one more trick is there, one more technique is there to transform these quantities into real-time domain quantities. What is that? That can be answered by asking a question, what is the imaginary of I B into I conjugate? Can you recall from the previous discussion? Okay, do you remember one thing? S is equal to BA into IA conjugate, B into I conjugate. Do you remember this? Okay, remove the term here. A is not required. A can be for any phase. So let us forget about this. Do you remember this term? B is equal to S is equal to B into I conjugate. So this means it is a real of B into I conjugate plus J imaginary of B into I conjugate. And what was that? P plus JQ. So Q is nothing but the imaginary of PI conjugate. So these terms are kind of a reactive power actually, which is quite interesting and insightful, because in compensation mostly we compensate the reactive power. We cannot do anything with the real power because real power cannot be manipulated. It comes from the source and goes to the load, but compensator is not supposed to disturb the flow of the real power. However, it can modulate the reactive power to get the desired compensating characteristic. So this looks kind of the A phase reactive power, B phase reactive power, and this is C phase reactive power. That is fine. I can always write this like a Q A L or plus Q B L. I can write like that, but it does not solve the problem because we are looking for some time domain expression. So we still want to express the reactive components in terms of the time domain components. How to do that? Okay, so just I express here. The first thing is this, let us say A phase is equal to SAL bar equal to BA into IL conjugate, which means PAL plus JQAL, which means the real of this plus imaginary of this, and which basically means the imaginary of BA into IL conjugate equal to QAL equal to the reactive power of phase A, which is equal to BAIA sin phi AL. Okay, because the reactive power phase A is nothing but BA into IA sin phi AL. Now the only and finally we are led to the condition that imaginary of BA into IAL conjugate is equal to BAL into IL sin phi AL. So how to express this in terms of the real time domain quantity? This is the only question now. Well, you know how to express BAIAL cos phi AL. What is that? It is the real power of phase A, and this is nothing but PAL dt 0 to t 1 by t. If you multiply the voltage BA and IAL and integrate over a period of one cycle, then you will get the real power. So now the question is whether we can find such expression for the reactive power. The answer is yes. Okay, and how it is yes? It is like this, that this term can be expressed as 1 by t 0 to t VA shifted by minus pi by 2 radian angle. Okay, this is a strange representation because normally we cannot express the angle, the phasor and the real time domain quantity together. We cannot do that. But here I have used a special way of expressing this, that it means that BA angle, the BA time domain quantity is phase shifted by minus pi by 2. What is the meaning of this? This is the BA. BA is root 2 B into sin omega t. Am I correct? Now if I shift this by minus pi by 2, it becomes minus pi by 2 here. That's all. So this is the meaning of this term. So if I take this BA sin omega t minus pi by 2, then multiply by IAL, which is root 2I into sine omega t minus phi AL into dt. Okay, then again we can use the formula 2 sine A sine B. So root 2 becomes 2, and BA and IL is outside here by T0 to T. This becomes cos A minus B, so cos pi by 2 minus phi AL. So this man, I have taken this as a this as a B. So A minus B becomes this minus this. So phi will remain minus here, and pi by 2 becomes positive. So this is pi by 2 minus phi L minus cos A plus B. So we added A plus B means 2 omega t minus phi minus pi by 2. Okay. Now if we take the average value of this is gt here, this becomes 0 because this is a cosine term. Any sine cosine average over a period becomes the 0. Am I correct? Alright. So if this is 0, then the remaining term is only cos sine phi AL. And sine phi L will come here if we substitute the limit. So finally we see that this becomes equal to this, which is nothing but imaginary of BA into IAL conjugate. So what we have learnt, that imaginary of BA into IAL is nothing but this term. Okay, this term which is BA into angle of minus pi by 2 into IAL. Correct? Now we will go back into this term. Just we have proved that this imaginary of BA into IL is equal to this, which is equal to this. And similarly, imaginary of BB into IBL can be proved as QBL equal to BB into IBL sin phi BL equal to 1 by T0 to T BBL minus pi by 2. See it here, and IBL dt. And similarly, imaginary of BC into ICL is equal to 1 by T0 to T BCL angle of minus pi by 2 and ICL. But it still looks very hard to express in minus pi by 2. So we will further express in terms of the line to line voltage. Earlier we have proved that line to line voltage can be found to relate the phase voltage. And what is that? BBC, for example, is equal to root 3 into BA angle of minus pi by 2. If you do the phasor analysis, you can find out that BBC is nothing but root 3 of BA angle of minus pi by 2. And the same is true in real time domain also, if the voltage has only fundamental component. So this is true, and therefore we can express BA minus pi by 2 in terms of BBC. So therefore this becomes BA angle of minus pi by 2 equal to BBC by root 3. Okay. Now B therefore use these as a final expressions. So root 3 will come here, the root 3 factor has come here, this one, okay, and this is here 1 by B 3B square, minus has gone, so 1 by 3B square is here, so finally it becomes 3 root 3B square, and 1 by T is common because this is common to all, this averaging process is common to all phases. So 1 by T is outside here, and into 0 to T, the first term becomes equal to, therefore, BBC into IAL. So this is BBC into IAL, this is BCA into IBL, this is minus BA into ICL. The next term is minus sign will come here, minus BBC into IAL, BCA into IBL plus BAB into ICL. Next time this will come here, BB into IAL minus BCA into IBL plus BAB into ICL. Okay, and all are being averaged over a cycle of one period 0 to T 1 by T. So these expressions are based on the averaging technique, because averaging principle is involved in these expressions, and therefore these expressions are used to compute the compensator susceptances over a cycle. Again, the settling period is 1 cycle because it takes 1 cycle to settle down the values of the compensator susceptances. If there is any change, okay, if there is any change, that change is settled in 1 cycle because it needs 1 cycle to average all these terms. And these are very simple. So what you need to measure is line to line voltages here, okay, line to line voltages BBC, BCA, BAB, and you have to measure the phase currents IA, IB, IC. Just multiply, take negative sign, alternate negative sign for second term, third term, average over a period, divide by factor 3 root 3 B square, and it is equal to B gamma AB, B gamma BC, B gamma CA. Now these are quite a well implementation form because we simply substitute the real time domain quantities into the expressions and find out the value of compensator susceptances. Okay, so these are interesting techniques which can also be used for other applications, that how to transform these quantities into the real time domain variables. So this is the description about the computation of the compensator reference current in terms of the real time domain quantities of voltage and currents. Okay. In the next class we will see that what these susceptances are representing in terms of the load admittances or load impedances. These can further be simplified into the real load parameters, particularly the resistance part and the reactance part. So that we will see in the next class.